how would you summarize the meeting? You were there as well from your side. How was it?
Epic, epic. Yeah, I mean, you should be so proud of your president. President Erdogan conducted himself like the man that he is. The team is first class, blended perfectly on all the issues with the U.S. team. President Trump was graceful, kind, understanding, strong on the issues that they need to talk to. They're both very strong men. Honestly, it was historic. I was privileged to be able to sit in the room after all of the noise that we have on all sides of things. And again, going back to saying, you know, we've been hopeful before. I'm so hopeful. I mean, not due to this meeting. The issues with Syria continue to be consistency, right? You have a young regime that has very limited resources. No one trusts them, right? The Western world is saying, how can you have a fundamentalist who is wearing guerrilla fatigues and shows up one day and says, now I'm a statesman and I have a Tom Ford suit? Well, you can. Nelson Mandela did the same thing, right? Menachem Begin did the same thing. You can change points of view. Everybody's saying, okay, so how do we support him without overcommitting? Not the U.S. The U.S. is saying, we support him because we're removing sanctions. We'll help on everything, but it's you, the region, that have to give him the capital, the resources, the people, the understanding. Even on a religious basis, you know, what's the architecture of how you create an inclusive environment that's centralized but has the autonomy for the people? So the Druze can have their own religion, their own clothing, their own education, even their own regional security force. The same with the Kurds, the same with the Alawites. It takes these guys just a little bit of time. My feeling is they're so well intended, and you know, El-Shara and Shabani coming to the UN.
That's big.
Well, can you imagine how frightened they must have been? And they weren't. But I was frightened for them, saying, wow, if they knew what they were marching into. So it's baby steps. I just looked at history again. None of these fractured federalisms or confessionalisms have worked anywhere. Look at Lebanon. It's chaos. You say, okay, the president has to be a Maronite. The prime minister has to be a Sunni. The speaker has to be a Shia. And we're going to divide up all the ministries based on religion. It's a disaster, right? You have no unified entity. Iraq, the same thing. Afghanistan, the same thing. So you have to have a unified entity, but the unified entity has to go to all of its components and say, I'm going to give you a better life than the life you have. Until they see that, they don't want to give up whatever moderate life they have. So it just takes time. So I think it's happening. So if you go back to lessons learned in history, you have to do it in tiny increments. You unwrap it like an onion. You don't take the whole onion. So we're starting in pieces. And you can start with the fabric in Turkey, and then Syria. Lebanon is another issue. Jordan Gaza has to end. Nothing, it's the 10,000-pound gorilla. Until Gaza ends, everybody's confused.
Was this discussed today with the
Yes.
Erdogan? What would you say?
You have to ask them, but I think they're both in line with saying Gaza has to end.
But what do you mean end? What does that mean?
That means stop the senseless killing. Now you have two different views as to how does that get done. But everybody agrees we have to stop the killing.
The president seemed optimistic when he talked about his meeting with Arab and Muslim leaders in New York on Tuesday. Do you see this?
I do. I'm holding my breath, and I don't want to jinx anything. Right? Aren't you tired of it?
We've been there before, optimism. Though.
I know, but that's all we have is optimism, right? If we give up optimism, there's nobody there.